Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Baymax with an exclamation point at the end. This is the brand new series from the Big Hero 6 film spinoff. It's from 2022. It's one season so far, only 6 episodes, and so far I don't know if there's going to be more, or if it's actually, you know what? This one season is probably just 6 episodes because while they are all individual stories, for the most part, it actually caps itself off in the 6th episode because it brings all the elements of the previous episodes together into one. That's the only big spoiler I'm going to give you here. But yeah, it's these are, for the most part, these can be watched individually. But you certainly wouldn't want to watch episode 6 first, because you wouldn't understand what goes into it. Who would do that? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Baymax, voiced by Scott Adsit. You might recognize him from a bunch of other stuff, but primarily he was a producer on 30 Rock, but he was playing a producer on 30 Rock. He's a comedian, but yeah, he had a lot of scenes with Tina Fey. If you looked at him, you're like, that's Baymax? Yeah, that's Baymax. And honestly, if Baymax was one of your favorite things about Big Hero 6, the animated film, well, here you go. It's a series all based on him. Now, not everybody wants his assistance, because while he's adorable in many ways, he might come off a little creepy, a little intense, but while still calming. Because he doesn't have like an angry, intense voice or anything, but you just don't know what to make of a big, imposing-looking blob coming towards you with a kind voice. It just doesn't make sense, especially when you've just like sprained your ankle, or got swelling due to an allergic reaction, or, well, I'm not going to tell you that one. That one was there's one that was kind of a surprise that they went there with that second episode. Just so you know, it's this is a show for kids, and but it's not just for kids at all. It's not a Disney Junior thing. It doesn't talk down to the audience in any way. It's very much in the spirit of the original film. It's less superhero-y, though. Hero, his companion, shows up in this, as does Cass, his aunt, who runs the coffee shop. But for the most part, there is no superheroics in this, technically. This is all about Baymax and his desire and ability to heal people when they least expect it, when they least want it, in many cases. And it's not just, hey, I'm going to... It turns out that he heals them not just physically, but psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, whatever it is, along the way. But it's never a weird message kind of thing. Like the second episode, that I'm not going to mention the twist on it, and try not to read the title, the description for it either, because it came out of nowhere for me, because I didn't read any synopsis. So it's they could have made it a very special episode. They could have made it very just, let's learn a lesson at the end of each thing, and they don't do that. It's not a hammer over the head kind of storytelling. It's okay. The first episode. Wait, I'm thinking. No, sorry. The episode I'm thinking of is the third episode. Sorry. Second episode involves Kiko, and Kiko is an elderly woman who has a bit of pain in more ways than one, but Baymax can only see that she has hip pain, and he suggests she goes swimming, and whether she likes it or not, but yeah, so that's not the controversial episode, but yeah, it's a fun series. It's funny. I laughed out loud a number of times because, one, I love Baymax, I love Big Hero 6, but this is not the same thing. Don't expect crazy superheroics. There's no giant villain. It is just Baymax in surroundings making other people uncomfortable, but at the same time, they are happy for his assistance in the end. So it feels good. It's a feel-good type of series. You'll laugh and smile, and it's heartwarming in all the right ways, not in a cheesy way at all. This is not a Hallmark card. So yeah, if you love Baymax, if you love Big Hero 6, I don't see how you could really skip this at all. But be ready. It's like I said, the third episode has a character in a bit of distress that I just did not expect them to tackle in this, which is, I know maybe I'm naive, but yeah, it's interesting. Is there anything else I should... Oh, by the way, I thought I saw... Look closely on one of the episodes. By the way, not a lot of people realize that this is a Marvel property. This came out of Marvel. Man of Action is the ones that created the concept for Big Hero 6, but Big Hero 6 is technically... It came out of a Marvel comic book. And while it is not connected to the MCU whatsoever, at least these films or anything... man, would I love to see a live-action Big Hero 6 jump in, just as a cameo somewhere in the multiverse. That would be kind of cool. Just throw that in there. At some point, we're going to have all sorts of different what-if multiverse type of things going on. Just have a glimpse of the gang. And just, that would be kind of cool. But the little Easter egg that I thought I saw, and I didn't go back and freeze frame it and try to check it out because I was just into the story. I thought I saw Eve from Wall-E sitting on Hero's desk. And it's in a scene, just like Marvel films, they have after-credit sequences. So you want to make sure you watch the after-credit sequence at the end of each episode, except for the last one. I think the last one doesn't have one. But boom, boom, boom. Each of the first 5 episodes has an after-credit sequence, usually involving Hero interacting with Baymax. And there's one shot where he's at his computer, and you look over his shoulder, and in front of him, it looks like the head of Eve. I don't know. I could have been totally wrong, but you could, in the comments, if you happen to be watching this at all, you can look yourself. So it's the third episode, actually. It's the after credit sequence for the third episode. Yeah. But yeah, I highly recommend this. It's a no-brainer for me. Love Marvel, love Baymax, and love this animation, Walt Disney Studios animation. It's on par with the films, and they do not skimp. It looks great. It's well written, and it's funny. Yeah. So, yeah, I can't recommend it enough. So yeah, I'm glad if I got to see it, even though it just premiered a few weeks ago. Let's check tomorrow's episode.
526.
Back up to the 500s. Making me scroll. 526. Come on. 5. There we are. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is one of the many, obviously, on Disney Plus, Disney Classics, animated classics. It's a feature. So we are going to be watching, we've seen the sequel, I think, where they go down under. This one is just The Rescuers. So, The Rescuers, that film, Tiny Animals, is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.